Next presenter, the name is Tatsuhiro Ujihisa. He is also one of the staff of vim-conf 2018. He is just a programmer who writes Ruby, Vim script, Scala, Clojure, and couple others. What makes him a little bit different is that he used Vim for over 20 years to live and organizes a couple of Vim communities, including founding this vim-conf back in 2013. The title is Modus. Please start.
Oh, sorry. Hello, everyone. Mods. Hello. I'm Tatsuhiro Ujihisa. Call me Ujihisa or Uji. This is a photo of my keyboard. Look at the key I. The I, when you type I at normal mode, that will enter to insert mode. If you type I at insert mode or command line mode, that will insert a character I. If you type I in operator pending mode or visual mode, that's a part of text object, such as IW or IS or something like that. This is example of I, but every key behavior depends on which mode you are at. This talk is to talk about mode, like Vim modes, particularly about Vim mode switching. I will talk about Vim modes, but I'm familiar with these topics more. I'm more familiar with these topics, but I will not cover this thing. Let's focus only on Vim modes today. My story goes from checking the mode specification by checking the documentation and the implementation in Vim C code with using some tools such as GDB and term-debug.vim. The target audience is beginner and intermediate Vim users like me. I am a Vim beginner. This is definitely, my talk is definitely not for active Vim core developers like the purpose speakers. They already know many of things. The goal I want to provide you is to make you feel more confident when you use Vim, and also to help you start working on contributing, developing Vim core. You must be passionate from today's conference. And I will give you a concrete process or example how to start working on for people like me that I don't know very much about C. Let's move on. Specification. Many of people here must have done Vim Tutor. If you have not done, you should definitely do. Just open a terminal. Type Vim Tutor. That will open up a Vim with special text. This is Vim, and according to the Vim Tutor, this only takes 25 to 30 minutes to read from top to bottom with some challenges to try. You should do, but not now, after today's VimConf. If you are not very good at English, you can choose your language. Vim Tutor space language code will help you. The Japanese version translation is actually done by first keynote speaker, Matun, and edited and organized by Kaoria, who is one of the VimConf staff here. According to Vim Tutor, lessons between 1.1 to 1.3 are about opening files, closing, moving cursor, and at the lesson 1.4, Vim Tutor finally introduces how to insert text. Press I to insert text. Let's do that. Press I to enter insert mode at the left bottom. Now we are at insert mode. When you type something, that will insert. And press escape to go back to normal mode. Yeah, escape to normal mode. Next lesson is about capital A. Capital A is to enter insert mode after moving the cursor to the end of the line. Yeah. Next topic, :help. It's a command that provides like documentation. You can also run :help as :h without ELP, which is shorter, so easier. And if you run :help with argument, that will open specific topic. But you can also run :help without argument to open general topic. That will open help.text. So :h is just it. That will open like help.text, which is like index and help of help. There's chapter about general subject, intro.text. These are link, like HTML link, and you can enter into the topic by typing control, close bracket. Now I'm at intro.text. Here, intro.text has documents about mode. Let's see. You're supposed to read everything here right now. Yes, mode. Yeah, this is the list of modes: normal mode, visual mode, and some other modes, you know. And then this one, mode switching. The :help mode switching that you can navigate also from :help the index has a nice table to tell how to switch from a mode to another mode. Like when you want to switch from normal mode to visual mode, just type lower V or capital V or control V. When you want to switch from normal mode to insert mode, one sec, this is better. When you want to move from normal mode to insert mode, that's available by I, capital I, A, capital A, O, as to enter insert mode as the next line, capital O, from the previous line, C with replacing S, like removing character, something like that. So you have the complete list of commands how to enter insert mode. This is actually not complete, I will show later. To switching from visual to normal, you can press escape, V, capital V, or control V, depending on how you enter to visual mode. Just see by yourself. And 3 is command line to normal mode. It's longer, I will not read it now. I said there are a couple modes: normal mode, visual mode, select mode, insert mode, replace mode, command line mode, and EX mode. There are also 7 additional modes. Do you recognize all of them? I don't know, so no worries. Terminal job mode, operator pending mode. This is very important. Virtual replace mode, insert normal mode, terminal normal mode, insert visual mode, and insert select mode. I will not cover all of them. Let's focus on normal mode and insert mode for today. Short summary for the specification, like my talk, like first part of my talk. So the Vim tutor, I'm sure many of people here must have done, but if you have never done, I recommend you to do :help, like help in the Vim instead of Googling. Google is awesome, but Vim :help is more like helpful for me because I can see that actively maintained, I can see documentation which is guaranteed to be actively maintained. Vim has 7 modes, 7 additional modes, and as mode switching doc set, there are multiple ways to switch between modes. And as I said at the very beginning, any key behavior depends on which mode you are at. So there's a concept of like key to actual command dispatching inside Vim. This is a Vim knowledge map I drew like last night. The top layer is behavior. The middle layer is about a C implementation, not necessarily C. And the bottom layer is for future, the contribution, like current active topics, like to add channel listen. My talk focuses on these parts vertically. Insert mode, normal mode, visual mode, like mode related thing from behavior part to contribution part. Let's dive from top to bottom. We already finished the first part, so let's move on to the next two parts. The implementation C code is hosted under GitHub/vim/vim. Particularly under src directory, there are lots of C files. We can see the code from top to bottom right now, but before that, I forgot introducing myself, so let me introduce myself now. Hello, nice to meet you. I came here to give a talk today. I'm Ujihisa. My GitHub is over there. I used to live in Vancouver, Canada, and I moved to Tokyo 2 years ago. I've been living here, and I will go back to Vancouver next year. I've been using Vim for about 20 years, and I still feel I'm a Vim beginner. Here are the plugins I use. So unfortunately, I'm still using more plugins than Dice's, and I still haven't succeeded in reducing the number of plugins. So I'm definitely not an advanced Vim user. My life particularly depends on the plugins with underscore. Most of them are Shogo, by Shogo or Thinker. This is my vim-rc. My vim-rc is not organized very well, so this is pretty long, and I have many changes over there. Oops, okay. This is my gvim. When I boot Vim, that open Vim shell session immediately, so I can run command. When I usually write like Ruby script, so particularly by opening a new empty buffer, set file type to Ruby, write some code, and do quick run to execute. That's my daily workflow. And my life very depends on like snippeting, like this. And I can also write C with using snippet. This is hello world and compiled and run. Yeah, so this is my like daily workflow. That's how I use Vim. I'm working at a company called Quipper. You must have received a Quipper advertisement that I made. Quipper is a service. Quipper is an education service. I'm working on a project to help teachers provide better education. I'm hired as a microservice professional, and I'm doing Ruby on Rails project for making their system rock solid. One of the interesting things I want to share is that on the first day when I joined Quipper, 2 people said thank you to me by hosting a VimConf. One of them attended VimConf previously, and the other was using my Vim plugin. I'm using Ruby at Quipper. Before that, I was at Quipper and previous company Fabric, and before that, I was writing Scala for work and Clojure and Haskell for my hobby, and I've been writing Vim script. So I spent most of my time for scripting, not for C or C++ or Go, lower layer program. I only know about the scripting. I know Scala is more. Scala is and Haskell are compilable. You never touch the lower layer. I don't know very much C. That's my background. VimConf founder and staff. This is just single line, but the being VimConf staff is actually a lot. I want to emphasize this part because the single line, being a VimConf staff, working at a VimConf staff, means writing an email to Bram to invite him, sponsoring visa for some people attending here to enter Japan, making VimConf website, lots of things. I did many things, but I sacrificed my time, so I didn't work on the developing for a couple months. Oh, thank you. I started VimConf initially as well. Anyways, this is really pretty much only chance for me to say thank you to you. Here, my life really depended on Vim. I'm surrounded by Vim users, Vim developers, Vim community. I've been working, like I'm making profit, I'm making money from Vim indirectly. Thank you. What was I talk? Yeah, okay. Anyway, the like, scripting part. So my background is scripting languages. So how should I start looking at C code? This is very different to my skill set. I could read from top to bottom like C code, but I don't know very much about it. I know how to write hello world. You are supposed to define main function and do something, and that will be compiled and executed from top to bottom. Okay, but writing small code and seeing like huge historical code have very big difference. The way I took was to see dynamically. When I learned about cooking, like fish, I didn't read documentation, but I hold a knife and start pre-processing fish by like, making changes there. That's the way how I learned the structure of fish and behavior of fish. The same thing should apply for Vim. I can use GDB or some other debuggers to see the dynamic behavior. Let's do that here now. So we talked about the Vim specification. We just went somewhere and came back here. Let's move on. GDB. GDB is to provide many things, but basically here, this is a tool to go inside running program to see what's actually happening by running like each line and check the current value. That when you want to use GDB for Vim, you have to build Vim with like, special flags. The special flags I said was actually these two environment variables, C flags and strip. First of all, you just clone the Vim code from GitHub and make changes at the src/makefile by providing ggdb3 option to C flags, which is used by GCC or the compiler you use. And override strip. Oops, this is just strip character here. It's hidden. Not to disable stripping so that you get all information. This is my makefile disk to share. I'm also making changes at the prefix so that I don't have to run make install with sudo. Using GDB on macOS was actually a lot hard. You have to do many things. I will skip. I will assume you're using Linux just for today. Term debug is another tool. This is basically a wrapper for GDB written in Vim script that you can run GDB inside Vim with using terminal. The key is that when you run GDB at Vim, GDB on your terminal, this single window will be used both by GDB and Vim, so the screen will be mixed up. The solution is to use term debug inside Vim to separate the GDB window with the running program. Here, there will be another like Vim process running. So let's try that from very beginning. This is actually my Vim. And my Vim is compiled under here. This is the latest as of yesterday. Run column term debug is a pass. Yeah, I know. And start the program with a command line argument. I want to run Vim without loading my vim-rc file, like 2773 lines of vim-rc. So let's disable loading vim-rc. Okay, program started. Now we are at main function. There are lots of macros. Okay. I modify some options to highlight current line. And yeah, now we are at here. And we will go to next line after executing current line. Now we are initializing, we are like setting up the initial state of Vim inside the main. Please read everything and understand everything. I have limited time, so I just keep going. Okay. The screen, something will be rendered here. Screen is allocated. Mapping was initialized. This delegates to Vim main 2. Let's enter to Vim main 2. S, that's step. Now we are inside Vim main 2 function. And Vim main 2 will do many things, many magical things, and eventually this delegates to main loop function. Let's go to main loop function. Just in case, let me put breakpoint so that I don't miss. Okay. The input method setup is done. Okay, main loop. This is a function with giant while loop. This one, the while loop. Inside the while loop, this will check user key input. When you start Vim, the initial mode is normal mode. So this main loop, while loop should delegate to like normal command dispatching. So let's see when it happens. Okay, here, normal command. Let's enter what's doing. Inside normal command, that should be getting user input, like just single character, like get to see or something. Let's focus on when it happens. Okay, here, safe v get see. This, I typed like next line, GDB is waiting for user input at this window. So let's type something. I want to go into insert mode, so I will type I here. I, okay. Now the safe we get C result is stored at local variable C. Oh, yeah. And you can see C by typing PC. The character, but you can, this is integer, but you want to see what's the character. In that case, you specify the type P/C to see what's in C. It's I. Or you can mouse over to see. Yeah, like this. Yeah, let's see how Vim uses the character I. As I said earlier, there must be a dispatching between keyboard input to internal function. This one, find command. The CA command char is actually a character I, and the index is to find the method. The index is 106, and nvcoms IDX. nvcoms is like hash table. It's actually an array of from like a character to vim's function. The I is dispatched to nv edit function. Let's put a breakpoint. The n is normal and v is visual. Here, this is important. This is a function pointer, and the C code is referencing the nv edit C function and calling with some struct that has some meta information about user input. Let's enter here. We are inside nv edit. At first, if the user input is not I but k-ins or k-ins, this is overriding that as I. So if your keyboard has insert key, that should be considered as I. Yeah, and then is checking what's actual current. I went too much. Yeah, we are in the insert mode. Escape. Now we came back to normal mode. I have only 3 minutes, so let's go back to the slides. Yeah, here's a summary what I've shown. You can use term debug to see what's happening from the very beginning to method dispatching, and you can also see the internal process. Restart edit is one thing I didn't introduce during the time. This is an internal global variable inside Vim to keep the state if you are inside I control O or not. When you are in insert mode, you can go back to normal mode by typing escape or typing control O. That will enter to normal mode with parenthesis insert. This is special normal mode that you can only execute single normal mode command like H to move left, and then this automatically go back to insert mode. This is a special state, the normal mode with restart edit flag on. So yeah, that's a restart edit. The contribution, that's, I made some pull request at Vim from when I saw at vim-jp issues, Colon and Tairu, the two people, were mentioning about exposing restart edit state for Vim plugin authors for convenience. And that's this one. Yeah, this one, the pull request 3000, this is already merged. My change was to make change at Vim script mode function to basically change the return value by using depending on current restart edit global variable. Basically, that's my change, and this is very handy for plugins. And I use this DDB to like see what's actually happening and like arrived here. Yeah, that was my talk. Sorry for rushing the last part, but I think I covered most of the things. I will share, make sure my slide, I will make sure I will share my slides. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.